Hi, my name is Allie with Totally Green, and today I'll be going over the ORCA's operating guidelines and walking you through the feeding process. First, let's talk about how ORCA works. The Organic Refuse Conversion Alternative, or ORCA, is an on-site food processing technology that disposes of your organic food waste into earth-friendly water in 24 hours. This is possible through ORCA's aerobic digestion process. This means that the process requires oxygen to break down the organic food waste. The rotating arms inside the machine add oxygen to the food waste, facilitating rapid decomposition. Unique to ORCA's process is our proprietary microorganism solution. Sprayed twice daily, natural and safe microorganisms are sprayed onto the organic food mixture, not only breaking down the food into smaller pieces, but converting it into liquid form. Within the machine, you'll find these black plastic biochips that are home for the microorganism to live and reproduce. They never decompose and can stay in the ORCA for up to 1 year. The liquid effluent exits the ORCA through 0.44 millimeter screen, which runs directly into your drain and treated at your wastewater treatment facility. Now I'm going to show you the feeding process. When feeding the ORCA, simply unlock the latches and open the feeding door. The arms stop rotating as soon as the door is lifted. You can then collect and organize your organic food waste using our provided lug rack transportation system. Before emptying the lugs into the ORCA, check to ensure there's no contamination present. After any contamination has been removed, just empty your food waste into the ORCA. After feeding your food mixture to the ORCA, close the feeding door and ensure latches are locked as well. What can you feed the ORCA? When feeding the ORCA, there's one rule of thumb to consider. If it can go in your stomach, it can go in the ORCA. Fruits, vegetables, peeling stems, meat, fish, pasta, rice, eggs, eggshells, baked goods, and bread can all be put into the ORCA. Also, small chickens and fish bones can be put into the ORCA, as well as a small amount of shells. For optimal digestion, we recommend that you put a mixture of all of these food items into the machine. These items should not be put in the ORCA. Plastic, saran wrap, paper, metal, glass, coffee grinds, and filters, as well as tea bags cannot go into the ORCA. Beef and pork bones especially cannot go into the machine. They will never break down, damage the walls of the machine, and could potentially breach the screen at the bottom of the machine. Avoid adding large volumes of liquids into the ORCA, such as lugs of juices, oils, and greases. They will drain immediately and kill the microbe colonies that help break down the food waste. If you happen to find contamination in the ORCA, simply take it out using a rubber glove to avoid damages to the machine as well as unpleasant odors. If an unpleasant odor arises, complete the following steps immediately. First, check the ORCA for contamination and remove it with gloves. Check to see if there's plastic wrapped around the auger arms, as an unpleasant odor will be trapped behind it. Using the hose on the side of the machine, spray down the sides of the walls of the ORCA to remove the buildup, and push it towards the middle of the food mixture. Remember, don't spray for longer than 30 seconds. Instruct your staff to not feed the ORCA for the next 2 hours until the odor subsides. Add a liberal amount of baking soda to the mixture. Close the lid and let it run for 10 minutes. We recommend adding a liberal amount of fruits and vegetables if available. Designate a member of your staff to monitor the machine every 30 minutes until odor subsides. Resume normal ORCA feeding after odor reduces to an acceptable level. How much can I feed the ORCA? Depending on the model size of your ORCA, the hourly feeding capacity will vary. This is our OG50 model, which means that it can process 50 pounds of organic waste an hour. There's also our OG25, which processes 25 pounds an hour, and our OG100 that processes 100 pounds an hour. The intent is to feed the ORCA as many hours of the day as possible in order to get the highest capacity out of your machine. At a minimum, build a feeding schedule that allows for 3 to 4 feedings a day. When feeding the ORCA, always make sure you're not overfeeding the machine by observing the top of the wipers. If you cannot see the top of the wipers, stop feeding the machine and return in an hour. Using the hose on the side of the machine, spray down the walls of the ORCA once a day to avoid unwanted odors from built-up food waste. The ORCA must always remain on. If for some reason the ORCA is turned off, the microorganisms will die due to a lack of oxygen, the food will break down slowly, and bad odors may arise due to this. If power is lost, to turn the machine back on, you must first turn the switch from off to on. Here, let it wait for 10 to 15 seconds to let the ORCA reboot. Next, turn the switch from on to start. This will start the machine again. The microorganism light. If you notice the microbe light turn on, this means that the microorganisms need to be replenished. When this light is turned on, it means that you have a week's worth of microorganisms left. When this happens, contact your ORCA service technician to replenish the microorganisms. Water sensors. ORCA's water sensors are located inside the front panel of the machine. They are here to prevent the machine from filling up with water. If the water sensor light is on, this may be due to one of two things. If the light is solid, this indicates that one sensor is blocked. The operation does not change. You just need to use the hose to spray down the sensor until the light is off. If the light is flashing, this indicates that both sensors are blocked. The machine will spray less water and the light will remain on for 1 hour. Use the hose to clear both sensors and check the machine in an hour to make sure that the light is off. Getting started. When collecting food waste, start first by collecting food waste with the least chance of contamination. For example, food prep scraps, trimmings, and leftover waste. After these large volumes have been successfully diverted to the ORCA, proceed to separate and feed in food waste from plate clearings. The following are the annual environmental impact reductions associated with an OG50 model operating at maximum capacity. Over 200 tons of food waste diverted from landfill, over 20,000 cubic meters of methane gas, over 200 tons of greenhouse gas emissions, over 2,500 miles traveled by garbage trucks, and 480 gallons of diesel fuel. These are all avoided with our ORCA technology. These figures are based on our OG50 model. These numbers will double with our OG100. This is how ORCA helps with your daily operational efficiency. Less garbage bags to carry, distance to haul waste is reduced, eliminates odor and flies from accumulated food waste, frees up workspace, no smelly garbage trucks on premise. That is all for today's training. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact our customer service team at 1-855-355-ORCA.